Just Antoine here. How's everybody doing? We are excited and elated to be here once again. And this is episode 8 on the Repositioning podcast. And normally I have a guest, but today I'm going solo, and we may do some episodes solo for a while, but it just depends. It just depends. We are in a transformation stage, and we've been in this stage for a while, but in this particular facet for over a year. We're running into 2 years. um, it was probably December of 2020 when the Lord spoke to me and said, Antoine, I'm going to teach you how to process deeper. And when he said that, I instantly went on live, Facebook Live, and I said, as the Lord teaches me, I'm going to teach you, and talking to my audience or my audience to be. And so I know that God is my everything. And I know that when he speaks to me in eternity, right? So he's not just speaking, he's speaking in time, but he's already taken care of it in eternity, if that makes sense. And so it's done. The fight is fixed. And I'm really excited about this next phase of my life. And so I'm taking what I'm getting and I'm applying it to my life, and I'm sharing it so that others can see the process, the journey, and not only see it, but engage in it, right? Engage in it. So over the weekend, I had an opportunity to listen to the book 10X by Grant Cardone, and it really blessed my socks. And I'm being mentored right now by Antonio T. Smith Jr., and he's been really challenging me to go to another level. I don't believe that it's a coincidence of these people in my life, even just listening to the book and Antonio T. Smith Jr. in my life. I believe that it's on purpose. And when God spoke to me a couple of years ago saying that I'm going to teach you how to process deeper, these people, these individuals were on his mind. As part of the process of me processing deeper. Dr. Joseph Mercy, God rest his soul as well, was a part of that process. Dr. Claude Anderson, uh, Black Lives, Black Labor, White Wealth, is a part of that process. Poweronomics is his other book, is a part of that process. And so the mind of these great leaders is a part of me processing deeper and going to that next level. I'm going to give a shout out to the morning meetup with David Shands, because he was that initiator of this process. When I joined that community, that really got me going into this processing deeper transformation that I'm on. Haven't arrived yet, but I'm on there. So we are in a process of taking our mindset and creating a new outlook and a new fervor to go to the next level. It's really all about repositioning, right? Uh, Pivoting, shifting, And so that's what this is all about. I'm in that space right now, and I'm loving it. It's very uncomfortable. It's very challenging, but it's very necessary. And I should really be on Instagram right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and go live on Instagram, because part of my process is going live every day. And uh, uh, I appreciate I appreciate the Lord. I really do. I appreciate what He's doing. I appreciate how He's doing what He's doing. And okay, I'm excited about it. Okay, so I just went live on Instagram, and I'm excited about it. So I'm going to share with you what I'm about to do. And I'm sharing it because you're going to see a different Antoine. You're going to see a different Just Antoine. You're going to see a transformation, and I want you to hold me accountable. I want you to hold me accountable, because what I'm about to do is set records in my life. And I'm not worried about other people and what other people do and what other people say, and how people may discredit what I'm doing. I don't care about none of that, because I'm on a mission, and I'm on a mission to change my life. And by default, I'm going to change others' lives. Okay, so my goal is to create an ecosystem, and that ecosystem will generate $5 billion a day. Excuse me, $55 billion a day. And so this is my goal. This is my dream. Antonio T. Smith Jr. said, "Hey, I want you to choose a goal that is impossible for you to do, but if you pull it off, it's going to change your life forever." 10x in my life, Grant Cardone said the same thing. Basically, is you have to have a goal that is unreachable, that is crazy, that is out of this world, and be able to go after it, and produce some work that will get you there. And so I'm in the infancy stage, and I'm in the planning stage, but I've been thinking big, right? I've been a big thinker for a long time, and just didn't know what processes, what steps to take to really get it done. But I believed that it was possible for me to be able to pull it off. I just didn't know how. Now I'm learning how to do it. And so it's just now taking the step, having the courage to take the step every day to move towards that goal. And remember, courage is not the absence of fear, but it's moving in spite of fear. So my goal is to create an ecosystem that will generate $55 billion a day. And I was telling this to my wife, and I was like, okay, let me give you an example. A company that is producing $1 billion a day is Amazon. Amazon is producing $1 billion a day in what it's doing in its personal revenue. And so if I say $55 billion, and I'm talking about an ecosystem, which, let me give you the definition. Let me look it up right here so that I can give you a definition. I'm typing on the wrong computer here. Okay. Look at I love this definition, by the way. A biological community of interacting organisms and their physical environment. A complex network or interconnected system. An ecosystem consists of all organisms and physical environment with which they interact. All right. And so this is that's not the business definition. Let me see, find the business definition here. But yes, it's going it's going to be a complex group of businesses interacting, forming what I see as a community that thrives. Now, my goal before I die is to bring African Americans out of poverty. In order to bring African Americans out of poverty, there has to be a mindset shift, right? And the mindset shift doesn't need to be just in the of those in poverty, but those that also are above the poverty level uh, mindset, right? In the middle class mindset. So I got to focus on both groups to be able to really move that needle. So I need to move the upper class, or excuse me, the middle class to shift their mindset and then reach back and get the poverty, those that have that impoverished mindset, to change theirs. And so the goal is lofty, and it's going to take a whole lot of effort to pull it off. But I'm down for the cause. I'm right now I'm digging my heel in so that I'm doing it. It's I'm on go, and I'm not going to get off go until it's accomplished. And so all I'm saying, I'm going live saying, hey, y'all need to watch out. Y'all need to watch this process. And if you, I don't care if you're a bystander, if you want to get involved, hey, come on and get involved. But if you don't and you want to be a bystander and look on the outskirts and see, man, he ain't gonna pull this off, or naysayer, whatever you want to do, I don't care. But I made up my mind. I made up my mind to go after this dream. And so I want to create a secure and safe world. That's my goal, right? Alongside of helping my people. Okay. So I'm not going to exclude anybody, but I'm going to include everybody that wants to be a part of it for this, a part of my ecosystem. But I'm especially looking to change the mindsets of the middle class and those that below the poverty level of African Americans. So I hope this makes sense. But if it don't, it will. As I move forward, it will. One of the things that I want to do, I want to post 100 times. Matter of fact, I changed it to 120. I'm looking at my notes. I changed it to 120 times a day on social media. So I'm updating my notes. For some reason, it's not updating. But I'm updating. I'll update that. I want to do at least 10 emails a day on my group, my network. I have some emails. I'm going to use those at first, but I'm going to continue to increase that list, right? I want to do 3 lives a day, and I want to write 5 articles a day. So I'm going to build up to this momentum, but in the next couple of weeks before the end of the year, I'm going to be accomplishing this. And I don't know how it's going to look. I have some ideas, and but I'm going to be working towards it. By January 1st, this is going to be happening automatically. It's going to happen automatically. So one of the things I'm going to read some of the lists of I got from 10x, um, and some of the rules that you have to use, or what successful people do, by Grant um, Cardone. He says you have to have a can-do attitude. I brought my can-do attitude with me today, and I'm going to stay in this can-do attitude for the rest of my life, guaranteed. He said also you got to believe that you're going to figure it out. Whatever it is, I'm going to figure out a way to pull this off. I may not know it right now, but I'm going to figure it out. Why? Because I'm a genius. I'm fearfully and I'm wonderfully made. I'm just crazy enough to believe that God didn't put what he put in me just because. I believe he put it in me because I have a purpose, and he has a purpose for me. He says, he told Jeremiah, he said, I know the plans that I think towards you. They're plans of good and not evil, that I may bring you to an expected end, a desire and a hope. And so I believe that. I believe that he's put these people in my life because of the plan that he has for me. He told Jeremiah also, he said, before I formed you in your mother's womb, I knew you and I ordained you to be a prophet unto the nations. So not only did he know him, he said, I knew your mom and dad before they got together. I had you in mind before I put them together. And I put some things in your life, and I ordained some things. I prearranged some things to happen in your life. And I put some particular people, nations that I wanted you to speak to. And I put what I wanted to speak, you to speak in you. Or I arranged it along your journey. Glory to God. So this is what I believe. This is what I believe. This is what I know with all my heart. And so with this repositioning podcast, I'm going to take you all through this journey with me, and I'm going to be helping others to come on and wherever they are in their journey, I want to talk about it. I want to let them talk about it. I want to hear about it. And if I can share anything to help them pivot a little bit more to go where they're wanting to go, this is what this podcast is all about. This is what this podcast is all about. It's about helping people shift, reposition their lives, their businesses, so that they can go get it, so that they can get what they desire to have. Because I'm going to get what I desire to have. And I know in order to get what I desire to have, I got to help people get what they desire to have. And if I help enough people get what they desire to have, I'm going to get what I desire to have. Ashe. Focus on opportunity. He says, you need to focus on opportunity. I have an opportunity in front of me to really change the world. Giving shout outs to my pastor, um, Dr. Darius Daniels with Change Church. He says that he's been called and commissioned to produce or to create world changers. And guess what? I'm a world changer. I asked the Lord, I said, Lord, who is my next pastor? Because I knew it was time to shift from my former pastor. And I thank God for all. I only had three former pastors, right? And I stayed with them for years. And each one had their opportunity to deposit in me more than I had prior to meeting them. And so I thank God for them. And I appreciate each and every one of them. And I still love them. And I said, God, I haven't ever, since I've been saved, I haven't been without a pastor. I said, who's my next pastor? And this was during the pandemic. And I was woken up, awakening by God speaking Darius Daniels to me. He said it 3 times, very loud and distinctively. And I said, yes, Lord. And so I've been rocking with him ever since. Because it was going to be between TD Jakes and Darius Daniels. And God said, Darius Daniels. So that's where I'm at. I've planted my feet there, and I'm not going anywhere until he says it's time to move again. So I believe that I'm a world changer, and I've been put in a place with a world changer and one who helps people change the world by teaching them what a world changer is and showing it and demonstrating it. And so I'm excited to be there and a part of that ministry. The next thing he wrote was, we have to love challenges, focus on opportunities, and love challenges. You have to get to the place where you invite challenges. When you see a challenge, you say yes, because every day I have to find a challenge and go for it. I heard a story about a father that said to his children, what did you fail at today? He questioned them every day and asked them what they failed at. And they had to come up with something to respond to that, because he would say, if you didn't fail today, that means that you didn't try enough new stuff today to fail. Your efforts wasn't high enough. Your activity wasn't high enough. So he challenged them every day to fail at something. Attempt to do something that you haven't done before. And if you wasn't able to do it, that's a good thing. Because you're gonna be able to find something that you could do. And then you need to take it to another level. So to find something that you cannot do. Isn't that a blessing? Boy, if we could shift our mind to have that type of authority, and not only that, instill it in our children, where would we be? Where would the world be today? We wouldn't have problems. We only have solutions. We will create a community, a ecosystem of thinkers, problem solvers, innovators. That's what my ecosystem is going to be. We're going to constantly train people, teach people how to create opportunities, to love challenges, to seek and solve problems. Well, that's a problem. Oh, let me figure this out, because we're all geniuses in our own right. The next thing he says, persist until successful. You gotta keep going. You gotta keep going. You cannot stop. I've been that person that have started and stopped. I let things stop me. I let people and what they think stop me. Where would you be today if you hadn't stopped? because of what you outside influences. And some of it can be inside influences. Whether it's outside or inside, if it's still inside. Because if you let outside influence you to stop, then it's something going on your inside that allow that outside influence to allow you to stop. So we got to take ownership of where we are today if we're going to take ownership of where we're going. It's a must. It's a must. You got to persist until you're successful. The next one is take risk. I got this from Grant Cardone's the 10x rule. You got to take risk. You got to take risk. Well, what if? Well, what if it doesn't? Or what if it does? If you never get out on the water, you'll never walk on it. You got to get out the ship if you want to walk on water. What if you drown? What if you walk on water? Peter was able to get up out of the ship. Everybody else stayed in the ship, and he was able to walk on water. Are you ready to walk on water? Are you ready to get out the ship? Are you ready to take the risk? Peter said, if it be you, Lord, permit me to come. Permit me to come. And Jesus said, come. And he's saying it right now, come. Get out the ship. Take risk. He says, be unreasonable. Be unreasonable. What do you mean be unreasonable? Yes, be unreasonable. I have to be unreasonable. $55 billion a day is unreasonable for me because of where I'm sitting right now. But I believe that it's going to come to pass, and I'm just the one to do it. Is it unreasonable? Heck yeah. And I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I have the tenacity to believe. Be dangerous. He says, be dangerous. Yeah, you better watch people that think like me. Watch people that go on live and nobody tunes in. And I'm like, hey, they just don't know yet. But they gonna know. They gonna know. And when I jump on live, they're gonna be like, what is this dude doing now? Let me get some of these nuggets. Let me tune in. Because he gonna set me on fire. And I'm gonna be able to move like I've never moved before in my life. That's my expectation. And I'm gonna build an ecosystem of those that think like this, that operate like this, that move like this. Create wealth. He says, create wealth. If you're not putting, I listened to the book, The Richest Man in Babylon. And if you're not putting a portion of, I say 10% at least, 10% of your earnings away to create wealth, a way for you and your family to create wealth, you're doing yourself a disservice. And you need to stop. And you should never pay a bill with this money. It's only to produce income. It's only to produce wealth. So I'm stacking money right now as we speak, and it's only to produce wealth. I'm only putting it in vehicles that's going to bring me a return, and it's going to bring me a return within 30 days. I will have other pockets of money that will be long-term investments and things of that nature, and that's fine. And I'm not against those. But there should be at least one set of funds that is only to produce wealth. You have to generate wealth. You have to create wealth. Readily take action. Be ready to take action at any given moment. When that vehicle presents itself that you can lock into, that's going to produce wealth, that will produce income on a consistent basis, whether that's moment by moment, minute by minute, second by second, or monthly, or weekly, or daily, whatever it is. Put your money in a vehicle that's going to produce money all the time. And you got to be ready for that. You got to have money to be able to invest in vehicles like that. Always say yes, he says. Always say yes. And what he was saying in the book, you have to listen to it, you have to read it. What he was saying in the book, that you got to be in a position to always say yes to doing certain things that's in your industry. Whether you can do it or not, you'll figure out a way to do it. And you just got to be that. You just got to take on that energy to say, you know what? I'm a genius. I'm in this mode. I can do it. Yes, let's go. Let's go. And then once you arrived at a certain level, then you can start turning stuff down. Like, no, I'm going to be very selective. But if it's aligned with your goals and it's allowing you to go, say yes. Don't hesitate. Let's go. I'm ready. My apologies. Let me put that on do not disturb right now. What you doing? Hold on. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, so you just got to be ready to go. You got to be ready to go. Saying yes. Habitually commit. You got to commit to yourself every day. What's up, Tony? You got to commit to yourself every day that I'm going. Today I'm going. I'm going after my dreams. I'm committed to do this. Every day you got to go after what you want. And if you don't, it's like, do you really want it then? You got to convince yourself that, hey, I want it. You don't have to convince nobody else. You got to convince yourself every day to get up and go for it. I want my dream. And you got to get to that point. You don't care. You got to eliminate the noise of other folks telling you can't do it. I can do whatever. I'm a scripture-based person, right? I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me. I got the one who raised the dead living on the inside of me. So what you mean I can't do it? I can do all things. And so if we're going to believe for me, believe for yourself. You got to trust you. And don't take no for an answer. It's yes. You got to You got to commit to yourself and moving forward every day. That's part of our declaration. I will move forward daily, every day. One of my things is I'm going to be more valuable today than I was yesterday because of what I'm doing in my life today, how I've positioned myself. Go all the way. Number 14. We're reading from the 10x rules that Grant Cardone put down, and I'm just taking these and I'm talking about them from my perspective. And so, yes, you have to go all the way. There is no stopping. The only way Antoine is going to stop if he dies. And then I'll be on the other side rejoicing because I gave it my all. I gave it my all, and folks was able to see that this dude was crazy. He was radical. He wouldn't accept no for an answer. When you told him no, he looked for next. Focus on now. What am I doing now? Focus on now. I gotta do something now. What am I doing now? I'm on live now. Why? Because I'm committed. I'm committed to 3 lives a day. Now, I did it and I started, and I probably did it for probably about a month. And then I started listening to other folks. Yes. Yes. And I'm telling you, if you keep going, there's nothing that can stop you. I'm reminded of a story in the Bible where they were saying they're going to build a tower to heaven. And they were in one place on one accord. And God said that there is nothing impossible for them. And if I don't stop them, they're going to do it. And I was talking to some guys, and I do prison ministry. I was talking to some guys in prison ministry, and it dawned on me. I said they were attempting to go from a physical space to a spiritual space. And God says, because they're on one accord and they have one mind and they're in one place, he says there's nothing impossible for them. He says they're gonna transition from a physical space to a spiritual space if I don't stop them. The Tower of Babel. And he confused their language and was able to stop that. So God says if you can ascend from a physical space to a spiritual space if you have a commitment and you won't stop, you won't give up, you have a desire and you're on one accord. There's nothing impossible for you. My God, my God. He says, demonstrate courage. And I talked about it a little bit earlier. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's moving in spite of fear. I'm going to move anyway. Am I scared? Yeah. So let's go. Let's go. Put on the gas. Put on the gas. Thank you, brother Tony. Put on the gas. I'm moving and I don't care. I don't care. I told my wife, I said, honey, I'm about to move. I know you heard it before, but it's all I need is your support. Because I love you and I want you to be by my side. But I'm going anyway. I'm putting on the gas, and all I want you to do, if you're gonna be on the wagon, pick up your feet. Pick up your feet. Embrace change. See, we sometimes don't want to put up something because we may change. Well, change is inevitable. You need to have whatever your goals are, they need to be fluid. because they're going to change. Your life is going to change. And it should. If you're growing, I'm not the Antoine a year ago. I'm not the same person. And so my goals are different. I can have similar goals, but they should be looking different. And I'm telling you, I'm so pumped right now. We got to embrace change, determine and take the right approach. Will we get it wrong sometimes? Yes. But if we're not doing anything, will we be wrong all the time? Yes. We gotta be all right with failing. I know our culture doesn't teach us to fail. It conditions us to stay mediocre. But I don't want to be that. And I don't want to teach that to my child. And I have to unlearn some things so that I don't teach him the way that I've been taught. I read in a book called Limitless, he said the illiterate of the 21st century is not those that can't read and write, but those that won't learn, unlearn, and relearn every day. So I got to get to that point where I'm learning every day, and I'm evaluating whatever I learn. I'm evaluating it and make sure that the things that I used to know, I'm evaluating. Is that still valid for where I'm going to on my mission? If it's not valid anymore, I'm trashing it. I'm dumping it. File 13, here you go. We gotta break traditional ideas. Just what I was saying. Break traditional ideas. You cannot allow your old. See, if you're going to change, the same mindset that created the problem cannot fix the problem. You have to have a different mindset if you're going to fix the problem. And to order to change your mindset and elevate your mindset, you must read. You must get around people that has a different mindset and learn their mindset. And Joseph Murphy, The Power of the Subconscious Mind, this is his mindset on the power of your subconscious mind. This is his mindset on it. And so if I want to know his mindset, I got to listen to it or hear it or read it, and then I can change and elevate my mind. I'm hoping this is making sense. I'm pointing at the book for those audio listeners. I picked up the book. So I'm ready. I don't know. TD Jake said, get ready, get ready, get ready. I'm ready. Be goal oriented. And don't set little goals, set big goals. Let your goals change. It's all right if your goals change, but go after your goals. Be on a mission. And it's not about just helping me and me reaching where I want to go. I want to help others. I want to leave a legacy. But I know I got to change. I got to come up. I got to go up to another level. And so that's where I'm going. And I'm at a different level now, and I'm still striving to get higher. I'm hearing the scripture say, come up here. Who was it? John, he said, I was in the spirit and it was on the Lord's day. And I heard him say, come up here. Come up higher. And so that's where I'm at. I'm in the spirit, and this is the Lord's day. And I'm going up higher, baby. I have a high level of motivation. My daily talk to myself, I'm increasing my energy level. I operate on a high energy level and I'm increasing it daily. That's my self-talk. That's my self-talk. So I'm walking myself into this. I'm talking myself into this space that I'm walking in and that I'm going to walk in. Be interested in results. What is happening right now? What results are you seeing right now? My mindset is elevating. I have several podcasts. This is just one of 12, 13 that I have. And they're going to continue to grow. And people are downloading them every day. And so I'm going to continue on. I'm going to continue pushing, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Have big goals and dreams. Man, if my goals and dreams aren't big, I don't know what is big. But you got to continue to strive for them. Do you really want it? If you really want it, your actions will prove it. You don't have to talk about it all the time. What you doing about it. Create your own reality. One of my part of my self-talk is I own 100% of my time. And so how does that look? What are you doing to own 100% of your time? The business that I create, I don't need to be there to operate it. That's owning 100% of my time. Even these podcasts, I'm gonna do them. I'm gonna set them out, and they'll come out when they come out. But I'm gonna continue to do them. I'm gonna have probably a year. I'll be a year ahead at one point where podcasts will continue to drop weekly. But I've done it. It was something I did last year. Hallelujah. That's what I'm talking about. Create your own reality. Commit first, figure out everything else later. I don't know how I'm going to do all this, but I'm committed to it. And guess what? I'll figure all that out. Today is the day. Be interested in the group. Oh, be highly ethical. Do things the right way. Be interested in the group. Find a group that's going somewhere that you want to be. That's where you want to be, where you're headed. Find a group that's already doing that. Be a part of it. Be dedicated to continuous learning. You need to be reading every day. You need to be listening to a book. You need to be growing. You need to be dreaming. Be uncomfortable. Stay uncomfortable. If you're comfortable, that means you ain't doing enough. if you are comfortable, that means you ain't doing enough. You need to increase your activity. Reach up in relationships. Get with people that's higher than you. Stop reaching down. Stop trying to be the brightest crayon in the box. Find yourself in a place where, hey, you don't know nothing. I I thought I had some big dreams until I ran into this guy. This is the group I need to be in. And the last one, be disciplined. Be disciplined. Be ready. Be committed. Keep yourself in check and do what you say you're going to do. And let everything else. The Bible says, let your yays be yays and your nays be nays. Yeses be yeses and your no's be no's. This is Just Antoine with your Repositioning podcast. I'm glad to be able to share this time with you. Y'all be blessed, and we'll see you at the top. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Bye for now.